I saw a really great show in California that had Willie Nelson, Freddie Fender, Donna Fargo, a whole bunch of people like that on it.
What part of California was that in?
That was in the Bay Area, San Jose area, I guess.
So that kind of alerted you
that was
to
about 20 years ago. And then I also went to the Steel Guitar Convention in 1978, and that was, I saw some of the best steel guitar players and great fiddle players, Buddy Spiker, Dale Potter.
In St. Louis?
St. Louis, right. So,
many people you know where the Steel Guitar Convention is.
That's what I have you out here for, Todd. Not for your personality, it's for this kind of information you have.
No, there's a guy who I think was involved in throwing it. He used to have something called the Steel Guitar Record Club. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
And he would license all of these records that featured steel guitar from all over the place and put them out basically for other steel guitar players, so they'd have tablature and stuff on them and that sort of thing. And I got a bunch of those just because I really like steel guitar, and so I got on his mailing list. And
so actually, they ought to be collector's items because they kind of sounds like rare pressings. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't have pressed more than a couple hundred of them.
yeah, I've got a few of them.
Yeah, they're real nice.
Okay, back to Don. Now you were playing a little club out in Austin you have a pretty long stay at, was it Henry's?
Yeah, there's a place called Henry's Bar and Grill, and that's where most of the people, when they come to town, they'd come see us at Henry's, and of course we had the alternative rock crowd that came out there all the time, and you'd see some old cowboy kid, you know, dancing with some girl with orange hair, or some old lady dancing with some young fellow with a ponytail, and it just kind of got to be crossroads of all kinds of music there, and at least all kind of fans there, and we played this same thing we're playing now, and there's a lot of groups that are into alternative music that are also into the old traditional country music, and that's what we're about. We're trying to keep this old music alive.
Well, let's hear a little more of that good old country music that you're keeping alive.
Cowboy Ramsey?
The one that I wrote out in West Texas when I was growing up, there was a fellow named Cowboy Ramsey. He would be down in the old Frontier Cafe of a morning, and he'd order his coffee. Always a mite too hot for him, so he'd have to pour it out in his saucer and blow it and drink it out of the saucer, and he kept his old 10-gallon hat pulled way down where you couldn't hardly see what he looked like. And he never bothered anybody, but there's always somebody trying to mess with him. So we wrote this song about him.
1, 2, 3.
I met Cowboy Ramsey down in Texas. Cowboy was a friend of mine. Cowboy was a friend of mine. He wore cowboy boots with the riding heels, long, sharp pointed toes. Kept his 10-gallon hat pulled down some old bucket, almost touched his nose, almost touched his nose. He kept a big red bandana in his left rear pocket and a pair of leather gloves in the right. He was hard as a big green Texas mesquite tree, but he never once started a fight. Never once started a fight. He was a lover and a fighter and a wild rider. Pretty good windmill man. Was a fast-fence member when he watched on a bender. That's a working cowboy in the land. That's a working cowboy in the land. One night in Big Spring, Texas, that cowboy was leaving a place called the Old Ace of Clubs. There was 4 burly roughnecks who had made the decision to see what old cowboy was made of. To see what old cowboy was made of. Well, he put on his gloves and he put down his hat. Said, boys, this could be old bad luck. But his warning they weren't heeding. He left him on the bleed. Drove off in his old pickup truck. Drove off in his old pickup truck. Now it's been many years since I seen old Cowboy. I'd like to think that he's the same today. He's just the kind of hero young fellas need now, going up in the good old USA. Going up in the good old USA. He was a lover and a fighter and a wild bull rider. Pretty good windmill man. Was a fast fence bender, boy, watching on the bender. That's the working cowboy in the land. That's the working cowboy in the land.
Yeah. Do you have any songs with stories or anything like that? You know, there's a lot of Western in your country and Western. It's more Western than it is country. I mean, that's great stuff. That sounds like Western movie kind of stuff, Roy Rogers kind of stuff. Is that a big influence on you?
I used to watch him and Gene Autry and all those guys when I think Bob Wells was a big influence. And even Merle Haggard when he started, you know, we're about the same age, but I always loved him. I thought he sounded a lot like Lefty when he started. And we do a lot of George Jones and Merle Haggard and all that kind of stuff, you know, old honky-tonk stuff. And then we do Western swing, and then we do the cowboy yodeling, which most people like to hear.
Yeah.
When did you start yodeling?
Well, when I actually did the old Jimmy Rogers stuff. Of course, everybody yodeled that back then. But when I really felt like I really started yodeling was when I learned a song called Chime Bells that Elton Britt did back in the 40s, you know. And then
Do you play chime bell now? Is that what you're...
sure, we'd be glad.
Could you do that? Oh, that's a wonderful, wonderful
And then the other influence on the yodeling was Slim Whitman. When he did the old, I think Jimmy Wakely or somebody wrote the song called Cast in My Lasso.
Don't know that one.
Gonna play
Chime Bells? Oh boy, I gotta get it in the right key. Though. That's what he was trying to tell me. You got your fingers in the wrong place, Don.
That's
all right.
Trying to be discreet over here.
These are just home folks. They don't mind, you know.